Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 862 and Doubleshot number 756. I got two trades related to Marvel Zombies. Those who don't know what Marvel Zombies was, it's basically a series of mini-series and one-shot that started back in 2005. Yeah, this has been around for almost 15 years, on and off mostly. This first one is basically the third Marvel Zombies series. Well, this one's not exactly related to the first two. It's loosely related, but it's not a follow-up to it. It's its own thing. And here's the thing. It is set in the 616 universe. Like, zombies come 616 universe? Well, technically there is a zombie, Simon Garth. He's around since the 70s, and he had the zombies put in him because he's a freaking zombie. And this is Marvel Zombies 3. And yes, that is a homage to Jack Kirby's classic Machine Man #1 from the 1970s. Yep, and look in the back. We have a homage to the awesome poster that was used for Army of Darkness. Yeah, that's one thing I praise about this miniseries, is its covers, which are all done by Greg Land, the guy who's known as a Tracer. And each one of these covers is a homage to a movie poster. Like, this is Army of Darkness. There's even one for Evil Dead. Yeah, the original one. I think it was the cover for issue 2. Let me look it up on here. Let me look up here. It's, let's see. I think it's here in the back. Let's see for the covers. Yeah, here we go. They even have zombie variants of various other books that are in here, which are not done by Greg Land, done by other people. Let's see. This one here, I think this is supposed to be 28 Days Later. Yeah, that's what I think this cover is a homage to. In case you wonder who the heck is on the cover, that's Michael frickin' Morbius. Here's the Evil Dead reference. Yep, that's a homage to the Evil Dead poster. Look it up. Yeah, it's the same poster, except they replaced the woman on the cover with Jocasta. I'll talk about her in a minute. We have, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be a homage to. It's just a cover featuring Captain Britain, Spitfire, and the Dan Waltman Black Knight. Yep, and we have various other zombie covers in here. Now, the story for this one is this: is that we have a group of people who are led by, two members actually are known creations of the late Steve Gerber. Those who know who Steve Gerber is, he is known for creating the characters like Howard the Duck, Man-Thing. Oh, he created a few different characters. Oh yeah, he also created, he created Shauna the She-Devil, the woman who later became the wife of Kazar, of Kazar, King of the Savages, and the mother of his only known child, Matthew Plunder. Yep. And Man-Thing, obviously Marvel's second Swamp Thing. Though it's not been a big success as Swamp Thing over the years, which is quite interesting because the last Man-Thing miniseries was released like last year. It was done by R.L. Stine, which I think he was an excellent choice to do Swamp Thing because he's a horror character. But the story for this is that we have these group of people from the Initiative, and they even have they listed off here. We have Siege, who is the original character. I don't know who this guy is. I barely remember this guy. The Conquistador, but Jennifer Kale and the Aquarian. I should point out, though, that is not Jennifer Kale's original look. Her original look was much more revealing, and this is okay. It's still fine. The Wanderer, well, Aquarian, as he called. He was really known as Wanderer, the Peanut Butter Warrior. I'm not kidding. That's seriously what he was called. And the reason why, originally, from what I've heard, now I've seen what he looked like. He used to wear like a red and blue leotard. Yeah, he had to change to white because DC Comics sued Steve Gerber of this character. Not the first time Steve Gerber's been sued over a character he created. The only character he's been sued over a character he created was Howard the Duck, and how very similar it looked to Donald Duck. I'm not kidding about that. That Disney sued Marvel over Howard the Duck. That's why you didn't see him back after the 80s until like the late 90s. Yeah, these people just come across like a... In case you're wondering, where in the 616 universe take place? It takes place in the Florida Everglades. I'm not kidding. It seriously does. And Florida Everglades. What famous Steve Gerber character is known for hanging out there? Why, it's freaking Man-Thing. Though at this point, I think he's part of the Thunderbolts. Yeah, I believe he's on the Thunderbolts at this point in time. Currently, Man-Thing, I believe he was last seen in the pages of Weapon Age, but he was last part of Weapon, the Howling Commandos group from S.H.I.E.L.D., the short-lived series that ended a couple years ago. Really fantastic comic book. I really love the thing. Yeah, so most of this group is taken with exception of Wanderer and Jennifer Kale by a group of zombies from the Marvel Zombie universe. But I should point out, though, they encounter somebody from the Marvel Zombie universe who actually become a later part of the Deadpool family. Meet the Zombie Deadpool, or the character who later gets his head decapitated. Yeah, Merc with half the mouth. Yeah. So this team is taken out. So they call in Machine Man because he's a freaking robot. Though Dan Slott decided to get rid of his fleshy bits. Now, those of you curious though, now originally, this is kind of what he originally looked like, minus the zombie appearance. That's what he originally looked like. He got his human look from the pages of a short-lived comic called Next Wave, Agents of Hate, a 12-issue series written by Warren Ellis. Yep, that's where he got his fleshy look. Jocasta. She is a creation. She's a character who is the bride, one of the many brides of all people, Ultron. Yes, I believe she's a creation of Steve Eichelhart, if I'm not mistaken. Let me grab him here. She is a creation of Jim Shooter and George Perez. Yeah, that's where she. And I should point out, though, her look has never changed. Her look is constantly pretty much the same. And here's kind of the thing about her and Machine Man. They've been dating on and off for years. And in a later book, they reference to have Mighty Avengers. So they have the Marvel Zombie stuff coming here. And, of course, they bring an agent with them to this agent. They hire this agency to hunt down the zombies and find a cure for it in the regular universe. I should point out, though, this is the first appearance of an agency who would become a recurring agency. The last appearance was actually last year, surprisingly, in the pages of a book called Slapstick. Yeah. But who is his agency? Why, it's an agency known as A.R.M.O.R, the Alternate Reality Monitoring Operation Response Agency. That's what A.R.M.O.R stands for as well. Marvel Universe like taking pieces of weapons and basically making that to, like, let's say, objects, making the acronym for agency. Yeah, A.R.M.O.R, of course. A.R.M.O.R, obviously. You have S.H.I.E.L.D. The S.H.I.E.L.D., of course, S.H.I.E.L.D. Sword. There's even one called Strike. Yes, it's a British agency. I should point out that this group would later reappear, not only in the follow-ups to this one, they appeared in the 2 follow-ups to this one. Actually, several follow-ups, including a miniseries featuring the daughter of the Hulk, the second Savage She-Hulk named Leandra. And they also appeared in an issue of Avengers Academy and a few issues of Incredible Hulk by Greg Pak. Yeah, I almost forgot who actually wrote this miniseries. This is written by Fred Van Landen, an awesome writer. And I think the most recent book he did was, off the top of my head, I think it was Deadpool versus the Punisher. Yeah, that was the recent A.R.M.O.R book. I believe he also did just recently the Green Hornet 66 meets the Spirit. Yep, the artwork in here is done by Kev Walker. The artwork in here is done by, of course, Greg Land, Justin Pusar, and Adam Sire. Yeah, so Machine Man, Jocasta, and so they go to the original Marvel Zombie universe. Now, I should point out, though, during this period of time when they go there, the heroes, who are zombified, exception of one, they all go to space. Yes, they all go to space. And they go consume the Skrull Empire. That's basically where they are. And they run into a bunch of zombie versions of known Marvel characters. They run into Archangel, which is, yeah, he's an X-Men, and he shows up here. We also have a zombie version of the Kingpin, who acts like a king and drinks blood he drinks blood out of a wine glass with eyeballs, which is kind of disgusting. Yeah. And get this, the only known person in this entire world who is not bitten by a Marvel zombie is Vanessa Fisk, who at this point is dead. Yeah, she's been dead for some period of time. This came out in 2008, 2009. Let me look up see when Vanessa Fisk was. Yeah, she's been dead for some time. And yeah, she's been dead. Bendis killed her off during his run for Daredevil. Yeah, Daredevil 93. Let's see. How long ago was this one released? Let's find out, shall we? I don't think it was that long before this one. No, because let's see. So I'm trying to find it, but I don't think it was that long before this thing. Okay, this will tell me. Let's see. How long was this released? I think it was back in 2004 or 5-ish. Oh, that was Minutes to Kill Off. It was actually Baker. Yeah, 2007. So she got killed off 1 year prior to the release of this story. hmm Yeah, and they take a sample of her blood back to Earth to develop a cure because she's unaffected. Yeah, and then at the end of the story, apparently Kingpin just eats her. I am not kidding about that. He does. Of course, these two also kill off various other zombies, and there's some sexual tension between Jocasta and Machine Man very heavily throughout this whole thing. Yes, these two are very heavily attracted to each other because they're robots. Also, the person who helped develop the cure for the virus, and he becomes basically a regular character in this book and the following book. As a matter of fact, they actually brought him back just recently, pages of Domino. It's Michael Morbius, the living vampire. No, those who don't know who the heck Michael Morbius is. He was a character created back in the 1970s. First appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 101. Now thinking, vampire. Okay, be perfect in a period of time because, well, Hammer Dracula films come a period of time. Not necessarily. There was a series of rules established prior to, about 20 years prior to his introduction. Back in the 1950s, we had the introduction. We had the Comic Code Authority. Yeah, that this particular authority was basically established to counteract an idiot psychiatrist who even Stanley himself didn't really give a damn about this guy at all because his opinions of how, yeah, his opinions were really stupid, thinking that people read comic books and that's how they go nuts. No, he based his assumption after talking to one patient, not a series of patients. And think also of comic books, like there was also anti-comic code. It was insane back then. Luckily enough, the Comic Code Authority has been defunct since 2001. Because I think even Joker started to realize that, yeah, the whole concept of the Comic Code Authority is way outdated. We need to get rid of it. And we're leaving. We're starting our own rating system. Oh, by the way, this is Prince Rising. I'll probably recommend this for teens. Yeah. Yeah. Pure blast of a series to read. And it's only 4 issues, so get pretty easily. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good, but here's the thing. Do not show this to little kids because it's too graphic for them. It says parental advisory, so teen, obviously. Next up it is Marvel Zombies The Complete Collection, Book 3. And just thinking, Book 3, where's Book 1 and 2? Don't have them. Yeah, the store I got it from didn't have them. Yeah, this book collects Marvel Apes Prime 8, number 1. Marvel Zombies Evil Evolution, number 1. Marvel Zombies 5, 1 through 5. Marvel Zombies Supreme, 1 through 5. Marvel Zombies Destroy, 1 through 5. And Marvel Zombies Halloween, number 1. Now, Carl Kitzler does the first two one-shots in here. Marvel Apes Prime 8 and Marvel Zombies Evil Evolution. Fred Van Lin does Marvel Zombies 5, Marvel Zombies Supreme. He just does Marvel Zombies. Supreme is done by Frank Mafferno, who also does Marvel Zombies Destroy. Van Lin also does the Zombies Halloween. Peter David co-writes the last 3 issues of Marvel Zombies Destroy. The artwork for these issues, let's see. Todd Hook does Marvel Zombies 8, Prime 8, Marvel Apes Evil Evolution. That's done by at least 4 different artists. Weldon Long, Carl, actually it's about 5, Josh Suter, Carlo Sorrento, Adam DeCrenter, Rob Savato. Marvel Zombies 5, Kano, uh, Fran Balaco, M.W. Kuta, Frank Brenner, and Felix Roots. Fernando Malenko also does Marvel Zombies Supreme, and he doesn't do any more of that. The Destroy is done by 3 different artists. Marco Pilaffi, who does pretty much most of the series except for issue 3. And issue 3 is done by Al Barifio and Rick Miner. I'm sorry for mispronouncing his name. The artist for Marvel Zombies Halloween, that's done by Alessio Venetia. The cover of this book, that's actually from Marvel Zombies Halloween. This is done by Francisco Francovia. Really fantastic artist. I really always wanted to meet the guy. Yeah, because I love this guy's artwork. Marvel Apes Primate. This is basically, of course, this all takes place at the same time as Marvel Zombies Eve Evolution, where the Marvel Zombies comes to the Marvel Apes universe, turn the zombies, and also the main character's one is Iron Mandrill, who is the monkey version of Iron Man, who had become a zombie, eats all of his dates. Yeah, but it was a fun little story. Marvel Zombies 5, it's a team-up book featuring Howard the Duck and Machine Man, and they go to various different realities to battle the Marvel Zombies virus. Now, those of you thinking, where the heck did they go? I'm about to show you once I get to it. Let's see, they go to a few different universes. Let's see, the first place they go to is the Old West, where they went into... It's a Western version of characters like... There's a guy called Jackie, who, appearance-wise, looks like could be Electro, but nope, it's not Electro, it's a completely different character. Yep, we have Kid Cole becomes a zombie. Of course, this is Kid Cole, who's a dollar, who was basically put on display after he was killed. Yeah, just basically battling a bunch of zombies until Howard the Duck and Machine Man show up and basically take them all out. And of course, they decide to take a Native American woman with them who basically says, like, there's nothing for her here. It's like, can I come with you? Sure, why not? Yeah, and she says, you come from another world? You can believe that? Where does it look like we come from, Toots? Cleveland? I thought that was so funny. I get the fact why he called her Toots, because he casually called Beverly Toots as well. But yeah. And then they go to the world of Killraven. Now, those of you curious though, who the heck is Killraven? Killraven was a character who made his debut back in Amazing Avengers number 18. Originally was supposed to be 17, but the issue wasn't ready yet. Yeah, it was a 21-part story where he basically... It's just an alternate take on War of Worlds, where there was another invasion after the classic H.G. Wells story, where they came back and conquered the world. And believe it or not, and you're not going to believe this, that this particular book takes place in the same timeline as the future version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yep, that is indeed true. And they succeed in freeing the world from aliens. Heck, the last issue has the flag of Free Earth. Yep, after that particular thing ended, of course, they also did have a one-shot team-up with Spider-Man pages of A.R.M.O.R team-up during the period of time when Spider-Man traveled through time after he met up with Scarlet Witch and Doctor Doom. Then he disappeared for many years until he popped up in a one-shot in 2001 called Killraven, and that was his last appearance for a little while. He also had a miniseries. His most recent appearance, off the top of my head, and this is not the 616 version, you have the 616 version, was actually popping up with the first arc of Bendis' run for Avengers back in 2010. Yep. So in this particular thing, they have a flashback of how Howard the Duck Machine Man got there. Apparently, Machine Man got drunk after his girlfriend decided to marry Ultron for some reason. He's kind of like, what does he see in him? What does he see in him? What does he have that I don't have? A snappy antenna, a whiny smile. Yeah. I like the fact they reference stuff in their book, which is brilliant. I kind of wish they did that today. A lot of the time, people characters are completely at random. Yeah. So after they go to the Killraven world to free it from zombies, which it's great the fact they feature the characters here. And every year they go someplace else. In issue 3, they go to the timeline of, believe it or not, Camelot, and they have a encounter with the original Black Knight. Yeah, one of 2 appearances he's actually made where people try and travel back in time this period of time. The other course was actually the pages of Indestructible Hulk. Yep. That's indeed true. Yeah, and then after they finish up here, they move. They basically also have an encounter with Thor, who is basically in his Jack Kirby look. And then we go to some futuristic timeline, which looks like it was ripped out of the Matrix. Heck, the Native woman decided to put out a Matrix, an outfit inspired by the character. I think it's supposed to be Trinity. Yeah, it's great though the fact they actually have an issue where they just love to homage. So we homage Western, medieval times, sci-fi. So why not the Matrix? Yeah, let's just rip out the Matrix. Well, style-wise, anyways. Yeah. They also have an encounter with A.R.M.O.R in 2020. The last issue is kind of a what-if story. It's kind of like an unpublished. They think it's not like they have this cover for this sort of unpublished issue 151 of Machine Man Howard the Duck. Here's kind of the thing. This comic did not exist at all. The book did end with issue 150. And Howard the Duck did appear in our team up in, I believe it was the second volume of the series. Never appeared in the original volume that I can think of. No. It's like this comic fan who just randomly just has this. They had this store where they run into him, and the Native American woman, I should point out though, is never seen again after this miniseries concluded. Nope. Then move on to Marvel Zombies Supreme. This 5-issue miniseries has Project Pegasus taking on zombie version of the Squadron Supreme. Though as later revealed, these are actually clones of Squadron Supreme from the original their universe when they were trapped here for a brief period of time. Those of you who don't know who the Squadron Supreme are, they are a group of the group of heroes from Alternate World. One is like 2 versions. They say the other, of course, could show up in 2008. First one showed up in the 70s. They are basically Marvel's answers. They're Marvel's analog to the Justice League. Hyperion is Superman. Power Princess is Wonder Woman. Nighthawk is Batman. Golden Archer, Green Arrow. Wizard is the Flash. Power Prism is Green Lantern. As far as I can tell, I don't think there's one for Martian Manhunter, which is kind of strange, and there's not one I can think of for Aquaman, just those other characters. Yeah. Of course, this miniseries is noteworthy for resurrecting Jack of Hearts. Yeah, Jack of Hearts, the guy who got killed off by Bendis and Avengers Assembled. Yeah, it is something, though. They bring it back here. We also have appearance by Battlestar, who appears in a few of these other miniseries even after this one. Yeah, he's also an old character. He's a creation of Mark Greenwald from the 80s, who at one point was briefly Bucky, then he became, well, Battlestar. He's been Battlestar ever since then. Yeah, this is one of the times that the zombie virus escaped just nearby a town, but luckily it was very much contained, but didn't spread the whole planet. Yep. And of course, Jack of Hearts himself falls in love with this woman. He's like the first woman he sees. And Jack of Hearts himself, after this miniseries concluded, is never seen again. As a matter of fact, he has not made an appearance since this miniseries concluded. Of course, the zombies are all destroyed by the end of the miniseries, but it's really, really good. Of course, Jack of Hearts himself basically, first he has amnesia, and here's kind of the thing. Jack of Hearts showed up back in the late 70s, Battlestar showed up in the 80s, and I think they know each other, unknown of when in the world these two met, but somehow they kind of know each other. They barely interact in this whole miniseries. And the miniseries kind of ends, well, her basically infected, turning like old, then Jack of Hearts uses his power to restore her, and then they make out, and that's how the miniseries ends. Marvel's Zombies Destroy. This is a blast of a miniseries right here, where you have Howard the Duck, Blazing Skull, yeah, he's an old character from the 70s as well, from the Invaders, and Dumb Dugan, and several other individuals go to a world, one of those popular scenarios of what if the zombies, what if the Nazis won World War II? They go there, they basically kill a bunch of zombie versions of known World War II characters. Like they have, and get this, the leaders of this world are 4 Captain America villains. You have Artem Zola, Red Skull, Baron Wolfgang von Strucker, and I'm trying to think who was the other one. There was another one here. Let's see. Oh yeah, they also had Red Raven on the team. The rest of the characters in this book, never heard of them before. As a matter of fact, I think Red Raven showed up since a few times. Blazing Skull has 2. Oh yeah, and the thing with Blazing Skull is he is commonly mistaken for the Ghost Rider because Flaming Skull, but he has nothing to do with him at all. Nope. I'm trying to find it because I know it was Zola, Skull, Zola, Red Skull. There's 4 of them on here. Here we go. Oh yeah, the 4th one was a hate monger who actually is not a Captain America villain. He's an old Fantastic Four villain, but he's frequently fought Captain America a lot over the years. Yeah. I think the writer of this book basically just really wanted Doug Dugan as a leading role for this series. Oh, and by the way, this team is, never seen again. And what happened in this miniseries, as far as I can tell, never been followed up upon. At all. Nope. Never have. Also, all the Asgardian gods are in the zombies in this miniseries. Well, this world's version of them anyways, because the regular universe are perfectly fine. Last one, just a Halloween special, and that's really it. Yeah. Fun set of stories. But here's kind of the problem with them. There's no follow-up to them at all. Nope. They set some stuff and nobody does anything with it. Like the zombie version of Captain America was brought back. The characters brought over from that other universe who actually want to survive because everyone's got turned to freaking zombies. Except these 3 women called the suffragettes. Thinking, the suffragettes, you mean those group of women who tried to fight women's rights back in the early 1900s? Yeah, and of course they had Miss America and a couple of people. One of them actually, Miss America actually died, who actually had Captain America's shield in her hand because Captain America died. Yep. Great set of stories. I do recommend them, but I kind of wish more would do follow-ups to these things because it left off with these big cliffhangers and nothing has been done with them. And I do mean nothing. These stories were released from 2009 to 2012, over the course of 4 years. Great stuff, and I love the fact Howard the Duck is featured in at least 2 of these miniseries. Yeah, he's featured in 2 of them. Supreme, I think, is a really great miniseries. Now, I know that there's someone I know named Dr. Lemonade Cam. He actually has reviewed Marvel Zombie Supreme. He didn't like it very much. He thought the series was a bit overblown. And he didn't like how Jack of Hearts was written. But me, I love it. I think it's a really fantastic series. Of course, I haven't talked to Dr. Lemonade in a couple of years. Yeah. Unknown the reason why we don't talk to each other. I have honestly no idea why. It's just the way it is. And plus, the guy has not posted a video in like a year. At least I still constantly post videos. The guy does anyways. I got introduced him via my friend Tivia. Yep. So that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my review of 2 more trades. Both of them kind of published to Marvel. One, of course, is an X-Men trade. The other, of course, is something that was written by Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Andrego. You'll find that next review, okay? But to see you there. Bye.